I'm Zak from Just Digital Media. Welcome to our short resource on an introduction to screencasting. As you may be able to see on the screen, a screencast refers to the recording of a defined region of a computer screen, and it captures what the user is doing. So for example, if I was to show you how to add a new bookmark to a page in a browser, I can do this with a piece of screencasting software, and you'll be able to visually view my actions as I go through the process. Here on the screen now are some typical uses for screencasting. One of its most common uses is for on-screen walkthroughs. So as I just mentioned, it's often quite useful to use screencasting to run through a process or a series of steps or actions on a computer screen, and it reduces the need for written material in some cases and just adds a bit of extra flavor for people who prefer to see things visually, which is often applicable to uses of showing software and other things on a computer. It's also very useful for fieldwork support. For example, if you were interested in, for example, showing or explaining how something works out in the field, you may produce a screencast that the user can then take with them and follow the instructions when they're actually out with the material or out at a location. There are many pieces of screencasting software, and on the screen are just a few of them. It's worth pointing out that Cam Studio and Screener are both free. At the bottom of the list is Silverback. Silverback is a usability testing application for the Mac, which basically means that it's a normal piece of screencasting software, but it also has the added benefit that it records the actual presenter as they're recording. So it can be useful for eye tracking, and also it records their clicks as they go through a set of instructions or steps. So it can be quite useful for finding out where people are clicking and etc.
Okay, now we're going to take a quick look at a particular piece of screencasting software, just to try and illustrate one or two of the things that Zak's been talking about. And this is Camtasia, which is quite widely used throughout education, most often the PC version. This is the new Mac version, but they share an awful lot of features in common and a similar sort of interface. So what we're looking at here is a preview of what your screen's going to look like. Here on the left is a little library of all your various media. So there's video elements, audio elements, and then at the bottom the familiar timeline display with all of the particular parts that you can line up on tracks. So for example, here we've got the title and the various other elements. These are some little branding idents we've made to break up a bit of the content, make it look a little bit more professional, hopefully. And here is a recording that I've made of just a little bit of a presentation I've been preparing for an event we're going to. So I'll have a quick look at that. If I place the playhead on the timeline. So there you go. You can hear me chatting away and talking through my presentation. I've recorded the presentation itself plus audio, and also in a minute you'll see that I've put a few live links, and so those links are going to open within a browser, and the screen capture software will keep capturing whatever's going on screen, so you can use it for demonstrating anything going on within a browser, any process you want to follow on the internet, any kind of software process you want to train people on, and of course an on-screen presentation as well. So these links are live, and as I press them, they're going to be opening within Safari on the Mac, and there it goes. And then I'm going to top and tail it with a few little video and audio elements that we've made, just to brand it as our content. It's nice, especially if something's going up online, for it to be identifiable as yours, partly for copyright and also for intellectual property reasons. And this is quite a nice subtle way of doing it. So there we go. Back to the beginning, and there you can see our little intro sequence, which you probably saw at the beginning of this screencast, and then off we go into the content.
We've written an advice document on how to a brief introduction to screencasting, and it's available at justdigitalmedia.ac.uk/moving images advice screencasting. Just a quick note to remember that we are available for helping the FE and HE communities with anything related to digital media, and you can use our help desk service at any time and we'll be able to get back to you with some support. Thanks for your time.